Bryce Anderson. Thank you for taking some time out of your day to come and talk with us about your new book.
Yeah, no problem.
The Improbable Rise of Singularity Girl. Tell us a little bit about your novel.
It's a science fiction, sort of a cyberpunk novel. It's about a young woman named Helen Roderick. She is a neurobiology student. She freezes herself, uploads her brain to a computer, and then the computer simulates her brain, turning her into the first true artificial intelligence. Once they start to perfect the technology, the government starts to get skittish, and they ban the technology and start hunting her down, trying to delete or enslave her. She's not sure which. So, as she's going into hiding, a nuclear device is set off in Manhattan, and she has to both figure out what happened there, who's behind it, and stop a war between the United States and China. And then from there, wacky hijinks ensue.
So it's comedy.
It does have some comedy. It's also got some dark in it. So it took about 2.5 years, but that was while I was working full time as well. So.
Okay. So you write on the side then? You have your full-time day job?
I did. My job went away a few months ago, so now I'm going to try and do writing full-time. It'll be an interesting transition.
So your book, who'd you get a publisher? Who's the publisher?
The publisher is technically Lulu.com, so it's self-published.
So we're discovering within the last probably a few years, that's not a dirty word anymore, so that's okay.
It's still got a little bit of stigma to it,
but it's not as bad as it used to be.
No, nowhere near.
I guess doing this part-time, what were some of your struggles and writing the book? Was it just time? Or
it was time. It was worrying about how good the book was, how good it needed to be, and there was a lot of self-doubt.
So, are you currently? Is there a sequel planned, or are you working on another book?
I joke about there being a sequel where the Helen Roderick and the evil artificial intelligence end up starting an office supply company. But there really isn't a sequel. I mean, the world is interesting. I think I could do something else set in the same world, but as for a direct sequel, no, I don't see it.
You said you're contemplating on just writing full time. You have another story planned, another book.
Yeah, I have another book in the works. It's basically a world several hundred years in the future where an artificial intelligence is basically in charge of everything. Well, it's in charge of keeping the Earth safe for the rest of the universe by keeping the people docile and contained. Now, the people are divided into what I call angels and demons. The angels live in orbit, and they're very wealthy. They control what goes on Earthside. And then the people who are still living on Earth, they're very poor and living in a sort of tribalistic society. So the book follows this young woman who starts out as an angel. She gets kicked out down to Earthside because of the plotting and scheming of this very evil, very powerful angel. And then she comes back as his slave and has to find a way to turn the tables and regain her freedom.
So was this your first book?
Yes. I've done short stories before, but this is the first completed novel.
And tell us, where can we find your book? Where can we find it?
Bandsorcery.com.
Is that your website?
Mm-hmm. And from there are links to Amazon and Barnes & Noble and whatnot.
Is this available in e-format as well?
Yes it is.
I guess that should go without saying anymore, but you never know.
It's getting close, yeah. You can almost take it for granted.
Well, great. Thank you for coming in and talking